Alright, I guess this is part 2 of this video series here, but I want to explain what rigs I like to use. And when I say I like to use these are really good rigs, and they're very simple, and they're store-bought. And I like them. I use them all the time. They work really well, they're very strong, and they catch a lot of fish. The two brands here in Northeast Florida that I find the most are these two brands right here. I like them both a lot. I can't tell the difference. As far as I know, they're made by the same people. They cost $1.50 each. So I'll go in and I'll buy 3 or 4 of them, and those things may last me multiple fishing trips, unless you get into sharks or bluefish that can cut them on a filament. I will say stay away from any of those rigs that are black, the black and white ones that have the metal on them. They're strong and they're pretty cheap too. They cost less than these, but I just think your bite ratio will be way down. I think the fish can't see this monofilament so well in the surf, and they'll just pick up on the bait, and they'll be more prone to bite it. Especially some fish are smarter than others, that's for sure. Catfish are dumb, they'll bite anything. If you want to catch catfish, use whatever you want. But anyhow, I just tie this one in right here to the main line. I use a simple cinch knot, and then I just throw whatever weight I feel I need to use, anywhere from a 2 ounce to 4 ounce pyramid sinker. And if there's a little bit of surf or a little bit of current, I'll break out the Sputniks. I like to use anywhere from a 2 to 4 ounce on those too. The rods that I mentioned in the earlier video are custom made. They work great for these heavier weights. You can even go up to 6 ounce, they'll hold them. Your smaller 7 foot, 7.5 foot rods that people like to use don't do so well with these. Another reason I like this rig is because you can cast a lot further with your weight attached to the bottom of it. It gives you a lot more leverage to throw the bait out further. There's other rigs where the weights are up here and your bait trails right here. They don't cast as far. So that's another reason I like to recommend this kind of rig for the new person who's maybe not so acclimated to throwing a spinning reel or standing at the edge of the surf and casting out far. You'll have a lot more distance with this form of rig. Now, I do personally change out these hooks, but these hooks will still hold any fish, your whitings, your pompanos, your black drum. Every once in a while you might get a hold of a large redfish or a large shark where they can straighten out or break this hook off, especially when you get them closer into the shallow water and you're putting all that extra pressure on them. When I do change them out, whoops, I just dropped the hook on the floor, hopefully no one finds it. I like to use a 3/0 circle hook. Now, being just a local bait store here, but I'm sure your local bait store has them too. And Eagle Claw makes a very similar hook to this. I'm just not familiar with what number it is. But the key point, if you're going to swap out the hooks, is make sure you get one with a very large eye, because you're going to have to pull this loop here off of here, and it takes a little practice. Off of here, and then put this one back on. So it's a little extra money for the rig, but I think it's worth it to use these hooks. And there we go. My eyes aren't very good, and I've never been the best with my dexterity, but that hook right there, and you can either leave the bead on, take the bead off. A lot of times I'll put floats on here, green and yellow floats, green and orange floats, or this color here. I think that works well. It helps keep the bait up off the bottom a little bit. That'll work well too. Now, something else important, if you're going to be putting baits on, you can use fish bites. I like fish bites too. They come in different arrays, different sizes and things. But I'll put a little piece of this on here, and it'll stay on the hook really well. And I've seen people strictly fish with these, and they catch really good fish. You know, I usually just cut a small chunk, about yay big, and put on the hook. But I like to put my shrimp on there too. Now, when you start fishing, your inclination is going to want to put a whole piece of shrimp on your hook. But you don't want to do that, because it's going to leave this tag end off here, and the fish will come and they'll grab it at this end and just pull right off the hook. So believe it or not, you want to peel your shrimp. This is old frozen shrimp. Either cut it or pinch it off in a small piece. A small piece will sit on your hook better, and the fish is going to be more inclined to just bite the whole thing. Put the whole thing in its mouth. Little cat hair there. Put the whole thing in its mouth. So don't use a whole piece of shrimp on your hook. You may think a bigger bait means bigger fish, but it means you can lose a lot more bait to smaller fish. So that may be pieced up with a small piece of shrimp bites on the end. It's pretty deadly in the surf. So hopefully this video helps. Try it out. You'll catch some fish. I promise you, you'll catch fish on this rig. If there's fish out there, they'll bite, and you'll have a successful day. And like I said in the video prior to this, you're going to come out looking like a hero to that little kid that you took down to the beach. So hope this helps. Leave comments if you think I should do something different or you do something different. Let me know. I'm glad to hear from you. Thanks for watching.